All right, folks, gather round. It's story time. Let's dive into Nietzsche, the Goth philosopher, the OG of existential dread, the guy who made brooding an art form before it was cool. Picture this, a TV series called Nietzsche, The Life. It's dark, it's edgy, and it's got more twists than a pretzel factory. Think Game of Thrones meets Keeping Up with the Kardashians, but swap the dragons and drama for deep thoughts and despair. Nietzsche's life was a roller coaster, full of drama, heartbreak, and enough philosophical musings to make your brain do backflips. We're talking about a guy who gave the middle finger to everything: religion, morality, even the way we see ourselves. Strap in, folks, because this ride is about to get wild. This wasn't your grandpa's philosophy. Nietzsche was a rebel, a rock star of the mind. He saw through the nonsense of his time and said, "Nah, I'm good." He dared to question everything, and his ideas were like grenades in the stuffy world of 19th century thought. So, next time you're feeling a bit angsty, a bit misunderstood, think of Friedrich. He gets it. He's been there, done that, and wrote a book or 10 about it. And trust me, his story is way more binge-worthy than any reality TV show. Our story kicks off with young Friedrich, a total bookworm, rocking the professor look way before it was cool. Think of him as the original hipster. He lands a gig teaching classics. Imagine ancient Greece, epic poems, sandals, and toga parties. This guy was practically born wearing tweed. Seriously, he probably had elbow patches on his baby onesies. But here's the kicker. Academia was way too vanilla for Nietzsche. He was like a lion trapped in a library, roaring with ideas that were way too wild for those dusty old books. Then, wham! Health problems hit him like a philosophical sucker punch. Migraines, eye issues, the whole shebang. But Nietzsche didn't let a little thing like debilitating pain stop him. He was too hardcore for that. He was like the Wolverine of philosophy, tough as nails and twice as intense. And probably just as hairy. Imagine him writing his masterpieces with one hand while nursing a killer headache with the other. That's some next-level dedication. But here's where things get really juicy. Nietzsche ditches the stuffy professor life and goes full-on philosophical rock star. Think leather jackets and existential crises. He's dropping wisdom bombs left and right, questioning everything from religion to morality. No sacred cows were safe. He's like the ultimate philosophical rebel, smashing the status quo with his radical ideas, and probably a sledgehammer. Nietzsche's journey was anything but predictable, more like a roller coaster with no safety bar. He went from quiet academic to philosophical rock star, all while battling chronic pain and challenging every convention in sight. Talk about multitasking. His story is proof that sometimes the most brilliant minds come with a healthy dose of drama and a side of dark humor. Oops! Now let's talk about the time Nietzsche dropped the ultimate philosophical bombshell. God is dead. Mic drop. Hold up before you start writing angry letters. Let me explain. Nietzsche wasn't saying that God literally bit the dust. He was making a point. We, as a society, had outgrown our need for God. We'd moved on to bigger, shinier toys like science, reason, and individual freedom. Think of it like this. God was the ultimate helicopter parent, setting the rules and keeping everyone in check. But Nietzsche was like, yo, we're adults now. Time to make our own rules, even if it means face planting occasionally. It was a bold statement, and it sent shockwaves through the philosophical world. But often God was just the warm-up act. Nietzsche believed that without the big guy upstairs calling the shots, it was up to us to create meaning in a world that was basically a cosmic joke. Talk about pressure. It's like being handed a blank canvas and told to paint the Mona Lisa. No biggie, right? This idea was both terrifying and liberating. On one hand, we're all alone in the universe, free to make our own choices, but also stuck with the consequences. On the other hand, we have the power to create our own values, our own purpose, our own meaning in a world that's basically a never-ending roller coaster. So if God is dead, and we're all just winging it, what's the point of this cosmic joke? Well, according to Nietzsche, the goal is to become the Übermensch. Now, before you imagine some dude in a cape and tights, hold your horses. The Übermensch, or Superman, is Nietzsche's vision of human potential on steroids. It's about embracing our freedom, our creativity, and our will to power to become the best possible versions of ourselves. Picture it like this. We're all stuck in a video game, and the goal is to level up to become the ultimate badass. But instead of slaying dragons and hoarding gold, we're dodging life's curveballs, pushing our limits, and constantly striving to grow as individuals. No pressure, right? Now, becoming the Ubermensch isn't about turning into some power-hungry overlord. It's about mastering ourselves, embracing our quirks and flaws, and constantly pushing ourselves to evolve. It's about saying yes to life with all its highs and lows and creating our own meaning in a world that often feels like a cosmic prank. So how do we achieve this superhuman level of awesome? Nietzsche had a few ideas, which we'll dive into in the next thrilling episode of Nietzsche, the original philosophical drama queen. Stay tuned.